Hello to my fellow KW stakeholders. Of course, it's Aaron Kaufman, Chief Stakeholder Evangelist out of Atlanta, Georgia, bringing you another episode of the My 401 KW interview series where we dive deep with some of our top profit share earners and stakeholder-minded associates. And this morning is no different. We're talking to one of my favorite people at KW, my brother from another mother, Joseph T. Ryan from Morristown, New Jersey. How's it going, my man?
Not too bad, Aaron. Not too bad. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Well, look, I know we got to cut this short a little bit today, so we're gonna go right at it, Joseph. Let's hear your story, man. I know you've been in real estate for a long time. Tell us how you made your way to how you got into real estate, how you made your way to KW, and then we're gonna tap into some of the insights around profit share. All right.
So I'm second generation real estate, right? My father had a real estate company, and it's
Daddy's
something
boy.
that. What's that?
Said daddy's boy.
Kind of, sort of. I didn't jump right into it. Actually, I shied away from it because real estate was the thing that kept my dad from my baseball games and my football games and all that stuff. So at first I was like, nah, not real estate. And so, I went into, oddly enough, food service. I started out delivering pizza out of high school, and that guy saw my work ethic and quickly elevated me out of delivery into the pizza place, and I became his time off, and I got to a point where I just got tired of coming home smelling like onions. And if you know the food industry, pizza, especially Friday night and Saturday nights are the busy nights, so I never had off those nights. So finally I was like, there's got to be something else, and I was either going to go to blackjack dealer school because I thought it was fun and glamorous, or real estate because it was the only thing I knew. And I got talked out of blackjack dealer school, thank God, and made my way into real estate at the young age of 24 years old.
All right, so I'm assuming you joined your father's company, yeah? I
did not. So my father had since retired. I never worked with my dad.
Okay.
And I joined a Coldwell Banker franchise near me and started dual career. And, back in 94, when $5,000 was a lot of money, I said, when I get $5,000 in the bank, that's a year's worth of rent. I'm going full time. And so I saved up $5,000 from a couple closings and jumped into real estate full time and haven't looked back since. So,
So you spent many years, decade plus, right? You were at Coldwell Banker for that long, or did you bounce around?
So I didn't really bounce. So I started at Coldwell Banker, and just like everybody did back in the day, you went and got your broker's license as soon as you could. You know what I mean? If for nothing else, to dangle that over your broker's head. And I think I stayed with him for 10, 11 years. And then I went and opened my own independent company and was able to recruit away enough agents to my independent to have him sell his franchise. And he sold his franchise to a Century 21 office. And that Century 21 franchise, 4 years into it, realized that I was still kind of kicking their butt. And they made, they tried to make me an offer to join them. And I said no, and then that crazy market of 2008, 2009 came along, and they were able to make me an offer I couldn't refuse at that time. Sure. And I took that Century 21 franchise, which was, they had 10 offices in their franchise. I took that office, which was 10 out of 10, to 3 out of 10 in 3 years. Wow. So that's what kind of, I believe, put me on KW's radar when they were getting ready to open a new market center in Morristown. And thank God George Denny rescued me from Century 21. And that was 2015. And here I am now.
So tell me about that contact, those conversations. I mean, look, you were over at Century 21. I mean, how did that, was KW even on your radar? Did you?
No, it wasn't. So much like other, what I'd heard was Keller Williams was a religious company, right? Because their motto was God, family, and business. And that's what kind of kept a lot of people in our area away from Keller Williams, because those franchises at that time did a good job of panic peddling.
Sure.
Oh, Keller Williams is a religious company, and so when I was first pitched Keller Williams, I was like, nah, I'm good. We heard they prayed at the sales meetings and all that stuff, and that just for me, that wasn't something I was interested in. I want to keep my business separate and my religion separate, and didn't really intermingle them. And my company, as well as the other companies in the area, did a really good job of portraying KW that way.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until George had me go to family reunion, right? And so we tell the agents family reunion does the heavy lifting. And when I got to that first family reunion in Orlando, Florida, I quickly realized that nothing could be further from the truth, and really opened my eyes to KW. When I got back from family reunion, I was still under contract with Century 21, and I'm going to tell you that declining markets and economy crisis and all those things, that couple of months between my contract ending and joining Keller Williams was the toughest time for me in real estate, because I knew that this thing was out there and I couldn't go to it. So
that's amazing. Well, you provoke a couple thoughts. First thought is, the old saying, if we don't tell our story, our competition will, of course.
Yep.
And they're not telling our version of our story. And as a former Caldwell Banker agent, look, good people over there, good company. But, I heard everything that, all the myths about KW from the leadership of that office. And look, if I'm running a dependent traditional company and I know there's a higher evolution of a real estate company coming into my market, I'm probably going to try to get ahead of that. Some people go that direction. Some people lean in and try to be more abundant. But I think, that's just a lesson for people. Don't assume that people know who we are. Don't assume that our own agents really know who we are. But that's the first thing. I guess the second thing was, I'm spacing on it, but you ended up coming to KW in that moment in a tough time. Was profit share even something that was even on the radar for you as
yes? So for me, honestly, profit share was probably one of the big reasons that that I joined Keller Williams, right? Yeah. So you hear about it, and you hear about this multi-level thing, and I remember going to FSO. And Dick Dillingham telling us about profit share and this and that. And then I remember for me, just talking to people, hey, what's your profit share look like? And talking to Wendy Harrelson and a couple other people, when I was a nobody coming to Keller Williams, like I wanted to make sure that this thing was real before I did that. Right.
I love your story because, I talk a lot about Stephen Covey, dependent, independent, interdependent. Obviously you were at a dependent company. You went independent. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then you went back to dependent because of the market. But then, you were always a business owner. You were always an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And obviously profit share, is an amazing financial opportunity. But did you understand how that was the driver for our interdependent value proposition? Meaning, profit share puts agents and owners on the same side of the table. There's an incentive here for agents to work together and care about each other in an industry that's always been independent, dependent. Did you understand the connection?
So in 2015, I didn't realize how connected they were.
Yeah.
How strong that it can be. And it's funny, you say, only 30% of the people really actually are serious about it. And, I track our profit share here. We've given back over 3 million since we've launched our market center. Exactly. And man, that 30% number is right on track. And it's like, if we could just really get it to 50, get it to people understanding how much of an impact it can have on them. Man, what a difference it would be.
Well, and Joseph, that's what gets me so excited, man. I mean, we somehow have taken over the entire industry in 35 years, and 80-90% of our people don't really understand why, right? And I think, the exciting thing for us is, you talked about 30% of your people are purposeful about it. I mean, I would kind of disagree with that. I would tell you 30% participate. Okay, 20% of the 30% are actually purposeful, and they make 80% of the profit share. So the truth is, Joseph, I think 6% of KW associates are earning 80% of the profit share. And, think about it, man. Like you said, what would we look like if the majority of our agents were participating in profit share and really thinking like stakeholders? I mean, what would we look like from a cultural standpoint, a growth standpoint, a retention standpoint? So I've been beating this drum for 20 years. It's like, look, who cares who understands how we work outside of our company if the majority of our people who are with us don't get it? And so that gets me excited in this moment. Like, hey, if we can really lean into profit share, the potential for this company is off the charts. The potential for culture is off the charts, and so you came to KW. You obviously, how lucky are you to partner with George Denny, right? I mean, he's amazing. He runs, these very profitable market centers at KW. So you come into KW. What was that experience like as being a team leader at KW? Obviously, a lot of people talk about,
So 9 years in, I'm still waiting on the actual job description, right? So I was like, okay, am I going to get like a job description? Yeah.
Right.
Your first 100 days is scripted. Don't worry about it. We'll send you a job. I'm still waiting for it.
That's
right.
Hilarious.
So
that's hilarious.
It evolves every year, and it seems like every year it's something new and something added to the plate, and then we find leverage for it. And something's taken off the plate. So what was the experience like? So I came from a world of being an independent agent and then launching my own company and still having a book of business to now feeling like a true manager when I was at Century 21. And I'll tell you, to have to get directives from corporate and have to put those things on people and no wiggle room. And it was very, when I signed my deal with Century 21, I knew within the first 2 months that as soon as this contract is over, I'm done, because it was unfair to the agents that were making the thing run itself, right? When somebody came to me and was like, hey, can I get 5% commission increase? And I'm like, here's
that's a tough job, man, to lead, right? To lead agents knowing there's a better place for them to achieve their goals, right? Yeah. And so you come, so I know you run one of the most profitable market centers in KW. Obviously, you're also one of our top profit share earners.
Let me stop you there.
Yeah.
I don't run the profitable market center. My MCA runs the profitable market centers, just like every MCA that runs a profitable. They run that profit, right?
Yeah,
so
of course they do.
I'm the lucky one that gets to hire, to make great deals for the agents, right? To really listen to their needs. Not everybody. Anybody can recruit if you give somebody 2 years for free. But what does that do to your profit, right? And so my job is to listen to them, match up their needs, help them with what it is that they really want. It's time or money, right? And then show them how to do more deals or have more time and use leverage. It's really the MCA that really runs the profitable market center, because she does that delicate balance of money here and money there, making sure the agents get their commissions in on time. So I have partners for that for sure.
And Joseph, my guess is when you first came to KW, right? I mean, you did what you naturally did, which was probably to recruit yourself, right? To get out there and start growing the office. My guess is these days, an overwhelming majority of your recruiting leads are coming directly from your own agents, correct?
I would love to say an overwhelming majority.
Okay. Well, I was being positive about it, but okay. So you're getting leads from your agents, right? But obviously that's the biggest challenge for you, because look, Joseph Ryan is going to grow this market center either through his agents or around them, right? And that's why you look, and we all can agree that leadership has the ability to build their downline just as much as anybody else. And I know when we first talked about this, Joseph, you were a little bit hesitant to do this interview, because you look, hey, I'm a team leader. I don't want to brag about my profit share. And I said, dude, it's not bragging. Okay. It's first of all, we're an open book company. I'll go look up your profit share anytime I want. But the fact is, you have a story to share. And look, a part of being at KW, it's not just about what you get, it's about who you become. And, the leadership path, a lot of people come to this company as agents, they end up being leaders, then they end up being owners and coaches and trainers and all that stuff. But there's nothing to hide behind, Joseph. I think your story is great. So talk about, how you balance being a team leader, okay, and wanting to grow your market center through your agents, but also doing your job, which is to grow the office. I mean, what is the challenge? What are you doing to try to galvanize your agents? I know you brought me up there to teach a bunch of times. I know you are talking, you don't hide, you're not shy about talking about profit share. So what are you doing to either A, galvanize your people to help you grow the office, or B, what are you doing to actually grow the office when you have to do it on your own?
So great question, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely easier to grow the office through the agents, right?
Yeah,
it's definitely easier. Nothing makes me more happy than to get a warm lead and call that warm lead and say, hey, Sam said, you might be interested, or something like that. We love that. And we recognize the top profit share earners at our sales meetings every month. And we of course have the big check, right, to show profit share is real, and we update it every month. And we try to keep profit share in the agent spaces. But at the end of the day, when they're especially this market, they're looking for listings, they're trying to find homes for their buyers. Profit sharing ain't at the top of their list, right?
Right.
And so
let me stop you there for a second, right? So let me stop you there for 1 second, okay? And I totally agree with what you're saying. And I'm seeing this, I'm seeing this everywhere I go. I mean, I'm showing up and there's 5 people in classes, when I used to be 50 to 100, right? So I get it. Agents are just trying to sell houses. But if we really boil it down, Joseph, it's the same conversation for agents who want to generate more business as it is with profit share. I mean, look, this is about building relationships. It's about helping people, right? And I'm sorry, if you actually, have relationships with agents in your market and you care about them, then you should be compelled to get them to KW in this moment more than ever, just like you are compelled to help buyers and sellers because you're a great agent. So even though profit share might not be on these agents' radars, I would hope helping people and building relationships is. And to limit those conversations and that mindset to buyers and sellers is just small-minded, because these are the moments, Joseph, as you and I both know, that you get your unfair share, right? While everybody else is not thinking about it, the people that are purposeful, the 6% that are purposeful, are building their 80%, right? So I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I just wanted to interject that. Yeah.
Yes. So the time, like it's like anybody's real estate business. You ebb and flow, and sometimes it's great months with a bunch of referrals, but when it's not, that's when I got to pick up the phone and go to work. You know what I mean?
What does that work look like, man? How do you pick up the phone and go to work? What does that look like in Joseph Ryan's? Do you get them out on your boat? I mean, what do you do? What's your process? So look, you're a natural born relationship guy, a salesman. I mean, what is your process when you have to pick up the phone and you have to do the heavy lifting yourself?
So while I know that a mega agent often brings other agents, so the state of New Jersey, you don't get to take your business with you, right? When you sign on at a company, your business is stuck at that brokerage.
Yeah.
So to go after bigger agents, they generally have business on the books, and in this market, when deals are fewer and far between, they're not leaving that stuff behind, right?
So there's no negotiations. There's no sellers changing their listing agreements. There's nothing like that.
Business stays with the house, right? And so those brokerages are not, and they know that. They handcuff the agents to that, and they don't let them leave with their business. So
I wonder what companies are on the board of Realtor or the board in New Jersey. I wonder if they're with more traditional companies, because that's what I love about KW, Joseph, right? We're the most abundant company. Not only do we not hold your business hostage, we're actually making it easier for you to leave, because we're teaching you how to think big, how to brand your own business. And let's get real, all these copycat companies that are coming after our agents were all spawned off by KW people, right? And let's just also say this, whether you like it or not, how the vote went down recently, the revote on the IALC, the one good thing about that vote being overturned, okay, the non-compete vote, is now we can say, yeah, we really are the most abundant company. Even though these other companies don't let agents take their rev share with them, you know what? KW is going to rise above and show people that, we're the most abundant company. And if you want to be in business with us, that's great. If you don't, that's great too. We're going to keep doing us. But sorry, I had to go off on that little rant there. But I know we've had some conversations around that. I'm trying to put a cherry on top of that. But yes, so when going back to mega agents, obviously it's much more challenging for you, correct?
But you still got to be in relationship with them, right? Because there's going to be a point in time that no doesn't mean no. It just means not now, right? Yeah. And so you still have to be in relationship. You still have to have those conversations. But at the end of the day,
what do those conversations look like? Hey, I'm just checking in, seeing how you're doing. So and so did a deal with you.
We've got this class. I've got $1 million agent. Going over his listing presentation. You want to come into that? Like those are the conversations, right? It's not all just, hey, you do better here. Hey, you make more money here. It's really coming from contribution, right? Right. But at the end of the day, my cap is 16,000, and somebody who makes who closes 2 million in volume, and somebody who closes 10 million in volume, that 16,000 is still the same, right? And so for me, when I'm going shopping for cappers, it's easier to look for somebody who's 2.5 million, who I know who will cap, who might not have business on their books scheduled out. I can usually get in there and have a better conversation, a quicker conversation. Well, listen, you got nothing going now. Look, let me cap manage you and give you 3 months at 100%, and or whatever their needs analysis is.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta make it. You got to balance their immediate needs with their long-term goals. But the goal, obviously, at KW is price is not our value proposition, right? I mean, value is our value proposition, and what we care about here is where are we going to net more money. And I heard a great saying once, Joseph: people leave KW for the same reason they join. Okay, so if we make price our value, I'm pretty sure there'll be a better price offer coming along down the road, and that's what I'm kind of loving about what I'm seeing in the virtual rev share market, is that these rev share companies are cannibalizing each other because they all are about price, and there's another price offer that comes, and like nobody's loyal to their company.
If they join you for a check, they'll leave you for a check.
Exactly. So, but I mean, obviously in your market, you have to be a little bit flexible if you're going to get those people here. But I love what you were saying about a capper as a capper. I mean, obviously megas attract megas. They're going to come here more for, I would hope they would come here not just for a price offer. Hopefully they would come here to build leverage and grow their business and expand it and all the great things that we offer teams.
I mean, we wrote the book on it, right? Gary wrote the book on it.
Yes, of course.
When they're at these other companies and trying to piece together teams, and I grab my red book and I'm like, hey, listen, 189, let's go. Let me show you how to form and grow and build your team, because they've been building it wrong. They've been adding buyers agents before admins and so on and so forth. And you can break that down and show them how that's not the right way. Those are the conversations you keep having, and invite them to career visioning, which I've done many times, and have guests come to career visioning just to see how it's done.
Who's teaching that typically? Are you teaching career visioning, or do you have somebody that's
in our region? So last Mark Willis was in our region last to do it. Yeah. Tony Brody did a phenomenal job with career visioning when he came last time.
He's very passionate about career visioning.
Yes,
very passionate. Yes.
The KPIs,
and what I'm hearing, Joseph, and what I'm saying, what I'm hearing too, by the way, for team leaders and non-team leaders, right? Like, I mean, any of our agents can invite someone to career visioning, correct? It doesn't have to be a team leader. I mean, you can look, God forbid you get somebody to family reunion or mega camp. Okay. I mean, how many people go, what's the conversion rate of family reunion and mega camp when you get, look at what it did for you, basically. So, but the lesson here is you're just a conduit, right? You're just a conduit of the KW value and agents and recruits. And, look, you've been doing this long enough that you don't have to sell it, right? You just have to be someone that other people respect, come from contribution, and find the people that value what we value, correct?
Correct.
All right. So 6 minutes left, Joe. Okay. Let's talk about you, brother. Okay. You've made over $300,000 in profit share. What is
308?
Okay.
as
Yeah.
my first.
What does your downline look like? I'm just curious. How many people do you have? You think it doesn't have to be exact, but I mean, roughly how many people do you think you have on your first level?
Oh, my first level. I want to say 40.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And then would you say the majority of them are in Morristown or they are in surrounding markets? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Morristown and surrounding. I have
Okay.
354 total in my
Nice.
downline.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you made over $308,000. Yeah.
Mhm. I hadn't added someone to my first level downline in 3 years until 2024
Okay.
when me and my maps coach, Misty Herring were like, hey, let's
I love
talk.
Misty. Misty's amazing. Yeah, she's great.
She's the best.
She's incredible. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. And so I went shopping selfishly for my downline at the beginning of this year.
Well, and Joseph, I know that this has been, I mean, like, like I said before, when we were talking about you doing this, right? Like it's, you feel almost like you don't want to talk about it, because you're the team leader, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the fact is, man,
it's benefit evidence, right? It's benefit evidence. Like
right.
Here, if you're on purpose about it, you can do it. This is what you can have, right?
So tell us about some of your wins, your personal wins, right? Like, okay, who did you bring to KW that was a top agent that maybe went out and did something and attracted other people? Is there anybody that's been a real trailblazer for your profit share tree where you got them in KW, either as a new agent, they turned into somebody, they opened up an office, or they became a team leader or something like that? Do you see?
Yes. So Darlene Marinick, who is an agent in our Robbinsville office, brought the opportunity or helped us launch the opportunity for our Robbinsville Market Center. And I was able to hire not directly to my downline, but have conversations with her. And she's the team leader now in our Robbinsville Market Center.
Nice.
And so the second branch of my profit share tree in Robbinsville, although it's levels 3 through 7 for me, are still man, it's awesome to have that kind of roots and branches in other market centers.
Well, that's what the great thing is. You can never predict who somebody might become and who they might attract to KW. I mean, I look back at my tree, Joseph, and I built it with a bunch of brand new agents off the internet. Everybody knows that, right? Yep. But I lost a lot of them, no question about it. But now when I look at who some of those people who have survived and stayed at KW have turned into and who they have brought into KW, I mean, I have team leaders. I got multiple OPs in my downline. I have, Liz Landry, head of KW Talent. I sponsored her off a Craigslist ad, who knows how many years ago. But it's just amazing. Like, if I always say that every recruit's a lottery ticket at KW. And if you don't play, you don't have a chance to win. I mean, Brett Mitchell. I mean, hello, the dude has sponsored 2,500 people off the internet. Okay. I mean, like, who knew? I mean, I was a mediocre agent from Caldwell Banker, and my sponsor sponsored, one person to KW. So look, we got a minute or two left here, Joseph. Talk to people who are listening, who are going to listen to this when it's recorded. And they say, one of your agents comes to you and they say, hey, Joseph, look, I mean, I see the money you're making. I get it. Profit share is a huge opportunity. Tell me what to do. What do I do to get purposeful about profit share?
So first thing is to have the mindset of you want to be purposeful about it.
Yeah.
Second thing to do is come up with a plan. Make it part of your daily lead generation that you're going to call for listings, call for buyers, but you're also going to call other agents and say, listen, I care about you. I see you work hard. I see you do this. I know you're not getting to 100%. Let's have a conversation. Would it be worth it? Or the better script is, I think you owe it to your family to at least hear a conversation from my team leader, right? Yeah. Don't try to sell it. Don't try to recruit. That's why they fly me all around this country to learn this stuff and to do these things, to understand the needs analysis, the real need of an agent. and then just tee it up and let me have it from there.
Yeah, I
That's
love that. And we all agree that, look, the number one recruiting tool for our associates is our leadership team. All right. These are salaried leaders whose sole purpose is to build wealth for you. Leverage them. Your job is to excite and refer and secure the appointment. And look, we always say, find their pain. KW's the medicine cabinet, right? So there's always going to be some amazing training event, whether it be in the office, virtually, a local mastermind, a huge national event, a Gary Keller podcast, an MREA podcast. There's, a shift book, an MREA book. There's so many tools out there to get people excited about KW. I'm going to leave it on this note, okay? A famous Mo Anderson quote. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But you can give it salt and make it thirsty. All right. Hey, Joseph, thanks for being here today, man. I know you got to go teach a class.
Thank you, brother.
I love you, brother, man. Appreciate all you
do. If you want me to come back and do and dot the I or do another half hour, I'm happy to do it. You let me know.
No, you got it, brother. I appreciate you, and your tell George I said hey as well. All right.
Will do. Thanks, Aaron.
All right, buddy. Take care, my man.